Hey guys, how's it going? So, a special update video today. Tomorrow, I'm guessing we're getting the buffs and nerfs, and I'm expecting those to be pretty lengthy as well. So, we'll skim the info that I'm going over today, and then get into the buffs and nerfs a lot faster. So, essentially splitting the videos up into two, and since we have so much information already, here we go. So, another week, another mobile suit. So, we have the Kapool coming in. It's gonna be pretty hype. Been waiting for this one for a while. Was kind of guessing this might be like a Halloween suit, but we got the dual hunt instead. And yeah, this thing looks pretty intense. So we have the Sonic Blast. I kind of tried to see the video, but we'll go through the video here in a second. Skills wise, the only thing they mentioned is explosive reactive armor level 1 and maneuver armor level 1. Overall, the explosive reactive, I can see being effective around 400 cost. So if this thing's about a base 400, that would be pretty nice. If it's 500 or 550 kind of deal, then that could be a little bit of an oof. But I'm guessing this is a raid suit, and at which point I'm wondering if this is just going to replace the Zagak E, which feels bad, man. But yeah, it could. Seems like it has a pretty good focus on some range stuff, though, with having missiles, a laser on its head. I don't know if the laser staggers, but we'll go ahead and watch the video, check it out. If it has a dodge roll, it could actually work pretty well as a general, but I think it would need 2 dodge rolls, and I would kind of hope it would have some kind of dodge roll outright, period. Again, we're going to have to see the defenses and actual stats of like its health. But it has that little beam it charges at the bottom, so it kind of acts like a Zoc beam, depending on how long it takes to charge. So I was wondering if it would be more like a, when I first saw the name, the Ag beam, but I guess not. It says radiate a beam for a certain period of time, although it requires focusing in a stationary state. So it's a crotch Zoc beam. So we'll have to see how that ends up working out. I wonder if the head laser will actually stagger and how many missiles it takes to stagger. Luckily, I think the missiles you can fire... Did we see them firing there on the move? Go ahead and go back. Yeah, okay, so missiles can be fired on the move. Hopefully that staggers pretty quick. Wait, did he just get staggered there by that beam? No, okay, that might have been flinch. Let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe? 4? That kind of looked like 4. That would be kind of cool. Then, especially in water, you can just charge and do it. So you could set up a stagger that way. I kind of hope you can boost and shoot those missiles normally. We'll have to see, though. Overall, pretty cool. Yeah, like I said, hopefully it has a bit more skills if it's a general. But if it's just a raid, I guess that might balance it out, because doesn't the Zagaki have a dodge roll? If it doesn't, then rip. But this might be the Zagaki replacement if it's around 400. If it's at 500, I don't know if this is the aquatic suit we've been waiting for, because there's so many really good raids at 500, like that would just outclass this. So I'm guessing it's around 400, maybe a 400 general is what I think would be kind of cool to see. But it's looking very raid. That downswing looks crazy. The only reason why I'm kind of getting on the general thing is they keep comparing it, or well, not keep, but they've compared it to the High Gog here. So I'm kind of like, but both offensive, defensive, and adept at maintaining a front line. So general? That's going to be funny. If it, a well-balanced arsenal and maintaining a front line. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a general. But if it doesn't have dodge rolls, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. English has been added to the selectable voice language. So now we have a operator. I don't know if it's just going to be an English version of what's her name there at the sortie desk, or what. Did they actually say here? No. Okay, no. But, yeah, we got an English voice. So let's go ahead and listen to it here. Now everybody will hear them tell you that you died and stuff like that. and that your base, I think, is being attacked is, I think, one thing that's said.
Begin the mission.
And that, of course. I wonder how many.
Mobile suit is down.
Oh yeah, that you got to kill. Good job.
Long-range
You did it.
communications established. Target confirmed. Taking significant damage. Be careful. Your mobile suit has been destroyed.
you suck. Yes. I just want one now that just insults you the entire time. Like, get good, scrub. Every time you die. That'd be hilarious. I don't know why that just makes it a little bit funnier that it's in English. But yeah. There we go. There's an example of that. So moving on, we have stricter penalties from withdrawing. Okay, now I tried to read over these in the Japanese, so let's see if this makes any more sense here. So they're trying to reduce the frequency of people leaving games. There are 4 levels of withdrawal status: good, caution, penalty level 1, and penalty level 2. However, even at the worst status of penalty level 2, where you can be prevented from going on sortie for 120 hours, you were able to sortie again after 120 hours while having other penalties, which allowed you to keep on withdrawing from ongoing matches, since you wouldn't get a 120-hour sortie ban again. Oh. Wow, really? Holy crap. So there was no, like, reset. So is that the main change here? Status is worsening. Okay, even though there were only a few cases in such kind of abuse, there were some people who wanted to see the penalty strengthened. That's funny. So from now on, the withdrawal status worsens again with penalty level 2. The sortie ban will be changed to occur as many times as possible. This means players who keep withdrawing from ongoing matches for a long time will not be able to sortie in a rated match anymore. Whoa, hang on, wait. Does that say you're banned from rated entirely? Is that what that means? I'm guessing this is bad translation, and this just means it just re-ups the 120. If you still have a penalty 2 and you leave, you just get 120 ban. But that's an interesting wording, though. If that's properly translated, if you leave too many times while having penalty 2, or just if you leave while having penalty 2, I'm guessing that's too many times with penalty 2. Because I know there's a lot of people who play with bad connections, and then they end up with penalty 1 or penalty 2, and they just keep playing. Which, at that point, it, you know, like, there's probably some tilt there. There's probably wanting to play the game and just risking it for the biscuit. But, yeah. And the thing is, it's like 5 days, right? So, if you go to sortie and then you get penalty 2, and then 5 days later your internet sucks again, then it's like, yeah. So, there's going to be a few people caught with that. So, I kind of hope it's not actually permanent, and that it's just another 5 days. Which still sucks for the people that get caught in that. But, yeah. Any more, like, completely being banned from rated, that's intense, yo. Okay, added penalty for leaving in the middle of the game. As explained above, if you leave the game, you will be penalized. But, as this is a game that uses an online connection, it is inevitable that you will be disconnected unintentionally. So, it was not possible to trace actual abandons and abandons due to problems like above. Therefore, by making the penalty progression stricter in stages, we are able to create an environment where we can follow up on rare cases where abandon happens during normal gameplay due to problems like above. So, I think it's hard to accept that a single unintentional disconnect should result in an immediate ban. So it's necessary to allow a certain amount of disconnects and then gradually make it more severe. With this in mind, we have not directly penalized just one disconnection until now. But we have decided to strengthen some of the penalties in order to further reduce the number of disconnections. Okay. So the amount, okay, so you pretty much lose rating now. If you're S- or A+, you lose 7. An A- 6, B+, any B, 5, any C, 4, and any D3. If you look at the reduction value listed, you've noticed that it is less than the reduction for losing a battle. But this is part of the follow-up to the unintentional disconnection I explained earlier. Penalty is still the same as before, but the rating value is reduced even more. So the penalty will be more severe than before, we hope, for your understanding. This should have been in first place. Don't feel bad about that. Like, straight up, every other game, you just lose. You just lose. Like, it's an accepted thing, Kobe. It is completely fine. There is no need for people to have to understand this. This is an accepted practice in any kind of ranked game, and then you don't have to have as much of this. And this, I would prefer more of this and less of this, to be honest. Like, if people just lost, right? Like, you lose, like at S, you lose 12 points. Or A+, you lose 11. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, or something like that. However it goes, right? If you just lost, and you lost the match, that would work. People wouldn't leave, because the problem is, if they're going to lose anyways. They're going to play. And you have a system to where you can, you know, make some of those points back with beating your rival. So you play and you don't lose as bad. Just literally, if they've lost to their rival, let them lose how many points they lose to their rival. Like, just literally make it that punishing. I mean, it sucks for the people who do DC, but the thing is, if you're having people who DC, most of the time, if it's due to their connection, it's gonna happen 2 or 3 times in a day if they want to play more than just, well, if they want to get their dailies done, right? So they get on, their connection's bad, they play their games, and they DC out of like 2, and and they have to play 5 games just to get their dailies done. Well, now they've got a penalty level 1. So that's my thing. Yeah, I would prefer they change this to where you lose more, and they pulled this back to where you have to disconnect maybe 3 times or something, and people wouldn't leave. If you literally lost, and you lost to your rival at the same time, you would lose so many points for leaving a game. And there you go. That's all you have to do. Easy. Follow up with those who are playing normally without disconnecting. We have discussed the case of people that disconnect and people that don't disconnect. Okay, yeah, I remember this. I already looked at this. So, they're changing the correction up to 16. So if you lost to your rival and you were at A+, you could lose a total of 17 points, while... No, you could lose a total of 18 points, while you could only gain 17, I believe. And then if you're up to... and this is just normal rating if you win or lose, right? And this is if you're beating your rival or losing to your rival. Whereas if you lost the most you can at, say, S-, you could lose up to 19 while only gaining 17. At this point, if you do insanely bad, you can lose 3 points, looks like, instead of 5. So there was a few times at S- where people would leave. Not S-, A+, sorry. Where people would leave. Oh, yeah. That's 19. A+ is 19. So S- is probably 20. So yeah, there was a few times when I was doing the S+ thing, or S- grind, and I was at A+, and I would, somebody would leave, and I would still lose like 4 to 5 points, and yeah, that was kind of rough. And at the most, you could still lose 7 points. Yes, you could still lose 7, which is pretty rough. So now, at the most, you can lose 3, and then at S-, I guess 4. So that's not bad. That way, if you're doing average, you just get forgiven if somebody leaves or if somebody accidentally disconnects, which I'm guessing with what they're talking about here is probably going to actually fix it, which is what I'm afraid of. And I honestly would prefer them to just do what I said before, not to repeat that. But anyway, as a follow-up for those who did not disconnect, starting in the next update, the pilot's rating is reduced in the battle. Make the pilot who plays until the end receive a correction equal to the reduction. So that rating will not be reduced at all. Oh! Wait a minute. You said maximum rating correction plus 16. Oh, etc. Ah, okay. Well, there's an etc there. Okay. There are leavers in both of your teams. There is no difference. Yeah, if somebody leaves... The funny thing is when there's problems with the server, so you've been literally completely without a teammate for the entire game, and then somebody on the enemy team who won DCs, because I don't know why they would actually leave, but they actually have a proper DC at like the last 10 seconds, and you lose, and it's just like, really, game? I will say that is annoying when that happens. But that's a funny one. Closing words. PS5 version. So, mainly, they're not wanting to oversell it, they say somewhere here, but they're adding the haptic feedback from the controller. I don't have a PS5 yet, so I've heard it's pretty cool, especially the adaptive trigger thing, which sounds really cool. Now, the question is the adaptive trigger going to be... yeah, I'm really curious how that feels. I don't know if I will enjoy this kind of stuff myself, but it's kind of cool. I do like the rumble, especially if I'm playing with the sound off, because I normally can hear the rumble of the artillery strike, or feel the rumble of the artillery strike and know to tackle when I'm playing with the sound off. But yeah, add gunfire sound effects to the controller. I hope you can turn that off, please. All the above can be turned on and off in the options. Thank you. So yeah, improved frame rate, which that's obviously already done. So if the frame rates got improved even more on the PS5 version, then what? Okay, anyway, and they have an example of loading time, which I didn't check out earlier. So let's go ahead and do this. It's gonna be sound. Come on, I believe. And then we'll go ahead and jump into the map. I guess there wasn't really any sound. Oh. Okay, so this is just free practice. They load in, they click at the same time, and you're in, and... yeah, that is definitely without an SSD. This one's definitely without an SSD. Oof. Okay, so what is that? 23? Yeah, mine feels more like the PS5 now that I got my SSD in. Not gonna lie, this is not the biggest, but I mean, yeah, most people can't just go have an SSD. I've got one of my old like 500 gig. I got an old one. Anyway, it's definitely not that fast. That's like what? Hang on, let's go back. Oh well. Yeah, that's right. They didn't start it immediately, so let's go to 4 seconds. And go. 5, 6, 7. Okay, at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, well, 10 to 11. So, yeah, that's pretty good. 4 seconds. I'd say mine takes about 6 to 8. Definitely doesn't take... what is this, like 20? Ouch. I feel like they... almost 20. Like 16 or whatever. So, yeah, definitely doesn't take that long. I mean, sometimes it can because... base PS4, like day one PS4, and that's the other thing too. This is definitely not on a Pro either. Pro is probably a bit faster as well, but sometimes on the base PS4 it takes, maybe 10 seconds, I'd say at the worst, maybe 12, but that's with an SSD. So without SSD and on base PS4, yeah, that's pretty rough, dude. That is rough. No wonder I see people like floating in the air sometimes during actual rated games. That's probably one of the reasons. So anyway, then closing thoughts and stuff. So yeah, let's take a look at the map real quick. And let's see, what do we got? New map. Military base. We have what looks to be kind of like a port base mixed with deserted city kind of thing. But it looks like you can get on top of pretty much everything. So we have like a little, I'm guessing this area is literally this. 2 bases in the corners. Interesting points. It's gonna be really interesting for people going down the middle here. There's a lot of places that you can go to sneak around, which is kind of what I don't like about this, to be honest, is hopefully there's gonna be more of like a, I'm guessing this point is gonna be a big contested area, is these 2 points. We'll probably see one group head to here and here, and maybe one go to there. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the meta changes on this. And really, again, the problem is the meta is going to be all over the place on this map when it comes to starting out and capturing your first point. I feel like if this is on the ground, everybody's just going to go to A on this side, and everyone might just go to B on this side, and then there's going to be some kind of meet up somewhere because that's the first, quickest, safest thing. Maybe a rush to C and A from this point. This looks very unsafe for anybody shooting across here. So, I don't know. Red side looks like to be kind of weaker on this. But it depends on how everybody plays and on the buildings and stuff. I like that picture. So, the building play is really nice. For a lot of stealth suits, it's kind of hard to get on buildings for any raid. So the stealth is going to be nice, and the flying suits are going to be insane. So it's going to be real crazy to see how many people just start to play sniper type suits. I don't like sniper suits because, you know, if you're like sniping from this building and the fight's going on over here, you can't see your health bars. I mean, there's no way. So if this map is too big, it's going to have deserted city problems. I'm hoping it's smaller than like deserted city, and, you know, just the being able to jump on multiple buildings feels good and better than what port base feels like. But yeah, I'm still hyped. New map that I think would be really fun to play in. My other big issue is it's pretty flat. So if I'm playing the MLRS, I'm going to be jumping up on a building and looking to rain down on somebody more than anything. So that's going to be kind of awkward. But yeah. Anyway, tomorrow should have the buffs and nerfs. If not, it'll be a very short video, because I'll just be recapping a lot of this and talking about it, because then I'll hopefully have either played it or played against the stuff that we just talked about. The biggest thing, though, was covering this penalty thing. I definitely wanted to talk about that a lot and what I think. So thanks for putting up with that small rant with them maybe flipping that around, because that's... Anyway, yeah, not to get back into it. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about that and stuff like that, guys. But usual stuff in the description: Twitch, Twitter, Discord, stuff like that. Like, comment, subscribe. Path to 1,000 subs. Let's go! But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Peace!